Well, more or less so. It could have been more like a ceasefire agreement with both sides. Like Ukraine themselves were in agreement before this knucklehead came into office that they were willing to do a ceasefire agreement with them. And obviously, of course, the current Russian government was not apoplectic nor reluctant to agree to that and kept stalling and stalling and stalling. Then when this knucklehead came into office in January, they were still doing the same song and dance like under Biden. Therefore, they'll keep playing this, tit for tat game of will they, won't they, will they agree to it, whatever. And since they got this chowderhead in office, they just keep buying their time. And since our drunk Secretary of Defense kind of cut off the arms shipments for Ukraine, that gave them some leeway to gain some momentum and some incremental ground to a degree, because in the past month they've been steadfast to march more westward within Ukraine proper, and their tactics have become more sporadic and more psychotic in their nature since this entire thing began nearly 3 years ago. So like, is it possible for it to end sinking like Gaza? Yeah, but it's very hard to grasp with that because it's easy to start conflicts, but whereas for it to end completely, it's very 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 difficult. But you hit the nail on the head. You have a good point with that. Okay, this comment didn't reflect to me, and this comment was posted on a video that I just saw recently, but I just want to add more to it. Um, the Russians never really cared about democratic values or democracy in general. It's always been in their nature, and it's always been permeated more in their history. Just look up the history of Russian warfare and the history of the Russian Empire from the 18th century and going back further than that during the days of Ivan the Terrible. From that point on, all the way up to the 20th century and even to now, throughout their entire existence, they never really cared about democracy or democratic or enlightenment values at all whatsoever. And the only time that was used as a justification, or let's say in a rather more pretext, as per for them to gain some type of traction as being a great power over world power, was during the reign of Peter the Great during the 18th century, in which he kind of encapsulated the entire idea of the Russian aristocracy and the Russian elite in that nature that we kind of see some semblance of it today. Well, you and I can't agree on that because, like, I'm Hispanic as well, you know, and it's pretty much it with that in that particular situation. Like, if I'm being accosted by somebody, and if someone wants to punch me in the face and does it simply because of who I am, I'm not gonna be nice, you know.